Uh, so we are ready to go. First of all, let me welcome you all to the questions and answers event for part one of module B of the 2019 Ambassadors course. I'm Natalia Tzitzi. I'm an eTwinning ambassador myself, and I'm one of the two experts for part one. I'm very pleased to be here tonight to answer your questions, and another expert, the other expert for the same part, Patrizia Roma, is also here.
Okay,
Patrizia?
just a few words to introduce myself. My name is Patrizia Roma. I'm an Italian eTwinning ambassador. I have been an ambassador since 2012, and very active eTwinner since 2006. So I am one of the experts, and I am very, very pleased to be here with Natalia. And I want to thank her officially because she's a very a partner that everybody would like to have. So very precise and always ready. And it's been a real pleasure for me to meet her, and I hope to meet her in presence one day. And I want to thank you for all her work and her support. Thank you, Natalia.
Thank you very much, Patricia. It's been a pleasure working with you too. Now, for part one, there are three sections. In each section, there are some tasks. There are mandatory tasks that these are tasks that you have to do in order to be able to collect the points that you need to pass the module. The optional ones they are important in my opinion because they give you some insight into what you have to do as an eTwinning ambassador, but maybe due to the hectic school life and your obligations as a teacher, but also as an eTwinner, as an ambassador, and there are probably other roles that you have to play in your everyday life. Maybe the optional tasks are not easy to tackle right here and now. Maybe you should wait for I don't know, after the MOOC is over, or maybe you could try and do them to the best of your ability. Um, Now, these are the B and C, the three parts and the mandatory test. We're going to discuss them. Patricia, would you like to start with section A, which is
Okay.
mostly
So section
done by
A,
you?
as you can see, deals with the eTwinning community, and maybe you have understood that me and Natalia have felt this community right from the beginning. We hadn't met each other before, we hadn't worked together before, but the very moment that we were together in this experience, we felt we were already friends. I mean, and this is something that I have experienced only in eTwinning. So having the feeling that you are part of a community of people who are like you. I mean, who have the same values, who share the same objectives, and who feel the same, who are open-minded, ready to uh, make friends, ready to make new experiences, with no barriers, with no prejudices. And this is something that, for the first time in my life, I have experienced in this eTwinning community. So you have an introduction, which is, let's say, a collection of definitions of what a community is. eTwinning, as you know very well, is not only virtual, is not only online. eTwinning is a community of real people who meet. So just to give you an idea, we have this introduction and then some hints maybe. I showed you the video of the conference in Athens in 2016 because for me it was really a magic moment, and also the interviews that are in that video are I think a good example of what people feel like as being part of the eTwinning community. And after that, I also chose a post from Facebook of an Italian ambassador, Vincenzo Ruta, because I saw that post this summer. We had a summer school for the Italian ambassadors in Italy, middle July. And after that, he posted on Facebook that he felt so part of this group of people that like friends that you met and friendship that never die. So for me, it was really a very good example I could put there for you, what people feel like. And after that, I thought about two tasks, and one was what does it mean for you to be part of being part of the eTwinning community, and probably you have already seen it. It's a Padlet where you can collect your reflections. And another one was a forum in which I would like you to discuss if you got the eTwinning virus, so-called, a good virus. I mean, a virus of good practices, a virus of collaboration, of cooperation with other people, of sharing methods, ideas. So because it happened to me that once I started in 2006, then I never stopped. Every year I have to do some projects. I have to be part of the learning events, or maybe part of some seminars. So it's something that once you start in your life, goes on. I mean, until you teach, until you work in a school. And so this was the part about the community which I devised for you. Then in section B, you have to start the practice of the tools we have in eTwinning Live. And one of the very important tools you have for eTwinning ambassadors is the events, the possibility to create events, because as the title says, these are very important tools for collaboration, for communication, and for spreading information, and maybe training other people in the use of the eTwinning tools on the platform. So I put these organizing events, and I gave you some resources, a video, a tutorial on how to create an event, and then two tasks. One is optional. Task 3 is a discussion about your experience in events. What type of events have you created? If you faced any difficulties. But this is optional, as Natalia said, if you are very, very busy with school at the moment, and I know what you mean because it's the same for me, believe me. So you can leave this for the end, maybe. And the other one is task 4, which is not optional, is mandatory. And it's to create an event for this MOOC, for this course. Some people have lots of events and have created many, so have a very good experience, and some not. So please create an event for this MOOC. And as Natalia suggested in the forum, in the support forum, you have just to create it, and maybe you can schedule it for, let's say, next month, when you will be less busy with school papers or whatever your duties are at the moment. So please consider that this is important to get the 10 points of the evaluation. And then the next part is Natalia.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Patrizia. Of course, Patrizia is very, she's very experienced. She's a very experienced eTwinner. She's been awarded many times. So she knows she's dynamic herself. And so she can cope with all these different abilities and skills and competencies an eTwinning ambassador needs to acquire, even either through MOOC or through experience or both. Now, Patrizia has described one of the tools, the events. The next tool that you'll have to study and use is groups. And for groups, initially you study the self-teaching materials. And after that, there is a guide, how to create a group, how to become a moderator yourself, and how to join a group. To join a group is relatively easy. There is one group that is suggested in the MOOC, is the European Network of eTwinning Ambassadors, but there are also the featured groups where there are moderators who are very experienced eTwinners, and they can help you with activities, they can inspire you. On the same part of the platform, along with the featured groups, you can find the process checklist to create a group yourselves. Take time to take a look at the checklist, and maybe you are inspired to create a group that doesn't exist on the platform yet. After that, in the same area, you can find networking activities. There is a networking guide with all the things that you should do in order to get together with other eTwinners, in order to run networking activities within your eTwinning group, the one that you create. You'll find advice on netiquette, which is very important, because in eTwinning there are teachers from different countries. There is etiquette is different from country to country, and netiquette is very important when we communicate online. In the next section, it's mentoring, supporting, and networking. It's one of my favorites. Now, no, before going there, let me explain the two tasks. There are two mandatory tasks. Task 5A, which gives you 5 points. You simply need to find a new group and join, and take a screenshot. Make sure that your profile name is visible there, and so that I can see it, and it would make my job easier when I assess the tasks. For task 5B, you need to contribute to the group that you have chosen to join. Your contribution can be a text, an image, or a video, or something, a combination of them. You also need a screenshot for that to post it in the forum. Make sure your name is visible, and there is a connection between the name of the group, your name, and your contribution on the same screenshot. It makes things easier for me. Okay. There is also an optional task, number 6, task 6. You use the checklist that I mentioned before, the networking, follow the advice given in the networking guide. And you needed to contact other eTwinners in order to invite them to join your group. The optional tasks have a special place to where you can post your screenshots, the results of your work, and it's a Padlet. It's the same Padlet for the two optional tasks, task 6 for the groups, and task 8, which is for the, it's in the next section, section C. Where we are talking about mentoring, supporting, and networking. We start with the role of the ambassador in the eTwinning community. You need, here you have some questions. These are not tasks which are given points, but they're very important for you to find these questions, to find the answers to these questions. There is no specific answer. You don't have to worry about that. It just the questions are meant to trigger your inspiration, your knowledge, so that you can start working on the module, on the material. Then there is a discussion what experienced ambassadors say that an ambassador does. You have to watch a video and answer these questions by jotting down what you think these ambassadors say about what an ambassador should do. It is not, you can do it in a relaxed way. There is no credit to that either. It just helps you acquire the competencies and skills an ambassador needs. Then there is mentoring. You can there is a checklist for you to the checklist of a mentor to find the top priorities and the secondary tasks a mentor has. You can take some of them now and get back to the checklist 3 months later and check some more of these priorities and tasks, and then make a plan for the rest of them to complete them by the next 3 months. So it's not something that you have to do for this MOOC now. It's something that is you should address in the future as well, and should be part of your mentoring plan as an ambassador. Next part is okay, tools. There is a Trello board there in the people networking tools and activities. You can find the Trello board below the two videos from the self-teaching materials. I have tried to make it as detailed as possible, and it is color coded with tools on the left and activities that are related to the tools on the right. So you can use them, you can do the activities based on the tools, or you can use these activities for your mentees, for the eTwinners that you support. And then we have the two tasks. The tasks, the get you points, are very easy, especially after studying the material. The tasks seem very easy to tackle. Task 7 is just a search. You're searching for an ambassador from a different country, not for an ambassador from your own country. And you get 5 points for giving me the screenshot where the extended search is made. And then you get another 5 points for sending a message to this ambassador that you have found through the extended search. The last part that you can find on the last section in the first part is the resources section, which is, in my opinion, it's very important to return to the resources section after the MOOC is over, and based on your needs and your requests, the resources will be enriched. I'm gonna post more resources there. The tool is a test teach, which is very appropriate for this kind of accumulating resources for further use. And there you can find everything and anything that has been covered through the 3 sections of part 1. You can find it in the resources section. And it can support you with further reading on how to be how to be an ambassador who knows how to mentor, to network, to support. And here you can see our email addresses, and now we are ready for questions. Aren't we, Patrizia?
And one more thing I wanted to add, spreading this sense of community is part of the role of the ambassador. I mean, you can do this in different ways. For example, when you are working on a project, and try to involve your school community in the project, even if you are working just with your own class. But there are many ways in which you can do this. Maybe if you, for example, it happened to me that we had to do a survey to find out some data we needed for the project. So we involved all the classes of the school in the survey. Or we wanted to create an awareness campaign. So, for example, we asked for the support of students from other courses which studied graphics. In my school, we have my school is a vocational school, so we have various specializations. And or in other cases, I ask for the support of my colleagues. And these are ways in which I try to make the other ones understand how eTwinning works and what are the benefits of this kind of approach. And also creating events in your school in which maybe you want to present your projects or any kind of initiative that comes into your mind, which is good to spread this sense of community that you're not working in isolation, but you're working as a part of a group. And this group is very, very big. So lots of teachers are into it. There are more than 700,000 teachers now in eTwinning. And so trying to make this evident to the other teachers in your school and in your area, spreading this sense of community is very, very important. In my experience, I learned how to collaborate first online, first in eTwinning. So I used to work as an isolated teacher in my school many years ago, and this was normal for me. But then when I discovered eTwinning and I started a collaboration with other teachers in other countries, I started asking myself, so if I can collaborate with people who are so far away, why cannot I do it with people who are next to my room? I mean, so this ability, these skills that I developed in eTwinning, that I started to make them contagious with other people who were in my school community. So this idea of having the same objectives, the same values, and working together for them is very.
Yeah, I agree with Patrizia 100%. Cooperation is one of the cornerstones of eTwinning, along with support, I think. And I'd like to answer a question there. I think, okay. Veronica, she's written here, we have already done something similar, finding and sending messages to an ambassador in a different country. This is the task, Veronica, I'm referring to. You have done it, so it's okay. I've explained it for those of you who may not have completed their tasks yet. Esther, I think, yeah, you say here that you couldn't read the resources. You are right there. The link to the first resource, the one with on communication, it doesn't work. I'm gonna fix it. But the rest of the resources are there, and you can read them. You have access to them. I'll check the test teach to make sure that all links work. And there are a lot of resources collected there, and there are going to be more. So maybe after completing the MOOC, maybe you could return to the resource, to the test teach. Is it possible? Yeah, as Alexandra has already answered, yes, the recording will be available on eTwinning Live. It will be in the file section. I'll in the forum, sorry, and I will make it available on the support forum of the MOOC. And anyway, if you can't find it, you just contact me, and I'll send you the link. It's not a problem at all. And Maria, the slides were just introductory. You didn't miss much, I hope. And yeah, Alexandra, that's correct. The prisoners in the recording will be available. Now, we have some questions. For example, there was one about the flexibility of deadlines. It was asked in the support forum yesterday by one of the ambassadors. And maybe we should answer that. I said to Eleni that the ambassador that asked the question that okay, we know that ambassadors are active teachers. We are active teachers. We work in a school, both Patrizia and I, and we know exactly what you go through. We have a lot of things. You have a lot on your plate right now. But it's all a matter of organization, organizing your work. It's a matter of putting priorities. You have to set your priorities, right? And then you work according to them. As far as I know, we can be flexible for the activities, for the tasks within the module. You can do them at any time within this given period of 1 month, all the tasks for module B. But if Alexandra or Patrizia have something else there to add
Of course,
on how flexible we are.
special requirements or particular cases, please write to Rute or Alexandra. They will consider. But in general, we have to try and be inside the deadlines, because this makes the organization of the course easier for everybody. So please do your best, and if you have real problems, don't hesitate to contact us, especially Alexandra and Rute, and they will see if something is possible. But in general, the deadlines are useful for everybody. So we understand, but we have experienced that maybe with a little bit of effort and organization.
Sorry, ladies, if I can just add to what you said. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. So, yes, just to tell,
Yes, very well.
just to
Thank you.
reinforce your point, of course, we're flexible in case there are personal issues or there is a big event or a big meeting in your school for some specific deadlines. Then, of course, write to Hoot and myself and so the experts, but we cannot be, let's say, provide different deadlines for different people. As you know, the ambassador's course has 4 modules and other 4 modules, so it means mandatory 4 plus optional 4, depends on your progress. And in order for you to be able to progress on the module and build up your knowledge, you have to try to stick to the deadlines. As well as you can see, the tasks are not, you don't have to spend 3-4 hours on a task. It's sometimes contributing to a forum or maybe uploading something. So it's tasks which are also nice tasks to perform, because we have excellent experts that design the tasks in a way that they're interactive. Um, and I saw some of your names are already familiar to me, and I saw you have been sorry, contributing and very active. So keep up the good work and your learning, and yeah, so it's well done to all of you.
Thank you very much, Alexandra, for the intervention. I agree with you on particularly on the last part. The participants have done an excellent job, and there is a lot of interaction in the forum, and there are some of them have completed almost all the tasks within a week, which means that they put a lot of effort, and they put the eTwinning Ambassadors MOOC on the top of their priorities list. Claudia, I sometimes, yes, it's what Patrizia has said before about being isolated in a school. Being an eTwinning ambassador, you'll be able to overcome that. It's going to be you and lots of other teachers and eTwinners, either at your school, in your region, in your country, in Europe. So you won't feel isolated anymore as long as we're an eTwinner. There is one more question. Excuse me. Sorry. Alexandra, is something that you want to add? There is one question about the events. I think you mentioned it before, Patrizia. Maybe you wouldn't mind repeat it about the task on events. Some people don't have the time to completely organize an event right now, but they can still register it.
Yes, they just have to register an event. Maybe you can plan it for next month or in 2 months when you think you have more time. And it can be an event about any topic that may be of your interest, for the students, for the teachers. It depends on you. What are your priorities at the moment? And you have just to register the event and take a screenshot of it, or just send me the link in the forum. So it's not something that you really have to do now. You can do it later, but it's just to practice on how to organize an event. So you have to prove that you can organize an event if you want to do it. So it's just something that is a registration at the moment, not necessarily that you have to do it now within the
Hmm. I think that you have. Okay, if you have any question, please add it here in the chat box. And there is one more before we turn to the chat box to see if there are questions there. One of the participants, it's Esther, I think, she's among us tonight, and she asked for more explanation about the mentoring section, whether there are tasks there. Actually, there are two tasks. There is one, but none of them gives you any points. You just do them in order to improve your skills as a mentor to other eTwinners. By the way, there is also a learning event. No, it's a MOOC, sorry, which is run by the School Education Gateway. It's in its third week right now, but eTwinners have access to material provided within the course. And this particular course is on mentoring. If you can't access it right now because it's an ongoing course, you'll be able to do so after the mid of November, I think. If you are eager to find out what it's on this course in terms of resources, I'm telling you that on the test teacher I mentioned before, with the rest of the resources, there will be some material I have access from the School Education Gateway course. So as far as mentoring is concerned, I think that you'll have a lot to study if you wish. But no tasks for points, so you don't need to worry about that.
Natalia, there is one question about task 1B SWOT analysis of the group. I don't know if you read it.
There is one about SWOT analysis. I think that's a task
Yes,
Alexandra
exactly. So,
has designed.
SWOT analysis,
Is that right?
just go
Okay.
exactly to the page. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you very well,
Can you hear me?
Alexandra.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so actually the SWOT analysis,
Yes.
this is for the next section, which officially is open on Friday, but I mean I kept it open so you can really access it if you want. So how does it work with the SWOT analysis? You need to do it in groups, okay? And there when you enter, just a moment, give me a second, I will open it with you. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The SWOT.
Would
Just
you
a
like to
moment.
share the
Yes, I
screen
can share
or?
my screen, but it's okay. I can describe it as well as I have several windows open. So the SWOT analysis is an overview of the professional development opportunities, and it will be officially, you can start it on the 22nd of October, so you still have time. And there you need to find first your group. So there is a division to groups, and when you find your name, under the name of your group, you go to the task. You know what? I'll share my screen. Wait, just a second. Okay, can you see my screen? You see a blue screen, no? Okay, now you can see my screen, right? Now you can see the ambassador's course? Yes, okay. So, sorry. Let's go back. Let's go back so you could see where it is. Bear with me a moment. So, the SWOT analysis, you go here. So here, there is a group work, okay? You need to download this document, okay? Here you can, well, sorry, here you can read about what is a SWOT analysis. And then you need to check your group here. So in this document, so it's hyperlinked. So here you see group one, all the people in group one. So let's say I'm Alessandra De Leo. So I know that I'm in group one. Okay, so then I go back and then I click here to my forum thread. Okay, and I know that if I'm in group one, I need to go to find group one discussion. And it should be somewhere here. They were organized by order. So here, group one discussion space. Okay, and here you need to discuss. What do you need to discuss? I'm going back. You have a template. So you need to agree on a document, on an opportunity for professional development, online training, online professional development, face-to-face, peer learning, that summarizes your opinion. You have this templates, for example, so it will download automatically. Let's say this one. Are you with me? Because I actually cannot see your screen. But if you will, if Patrizia and Natalia, if you say that it's clear, because I can hear you, I cannot see the chat though. Good. So here you open up the document, and let me move it to the other screen. There you go. So your group needs to fill in this document, okay? And it's enough actually that one group member will fill it for all the group. Okay, you just write all the members of the group here, the type of professional development you would like to focus on. So let's say you decided to focus on online learning, yeah? So you click here, and then you need to analyze what are the strengths of online learning, what are the weaknesses, what are the opportunities, and what are the threats. So what kind of threats or difficulties we have. Okay, and then, so I'm closing this. Okay, let's say I filled it in, I saved it, and then I go here to the group work SWOT analysis assignment. Okay, so I go here and I need to upload the document you prepared. Okay, so you will have, I don't have it, like the submission window, because I'm not a participant. I'm like the course designer together with Hot, but you will be able to submit here your analysis. Okay, and then you go back. Okay, wait a second. So you go back and you have the other tasks. Okay, um, I I guess that's it. So I hope it's clear. The group,
For the
There is one question.
the group you mean in which group you are? Sorry, for what exactly? For which task?
Participants or the facilitators?
yes.
So the groups, as I showed you, you're already divided by groups. So if you go to the section and you check where your name is, so you need to click in the hyperlink. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again and I'm going to show you exactly where it is. Okay, so you see my screen, I guess now. Yeah, so you go here. Yeah, so check. So you will use a SWOT analysis methodology. First, check the group to which you are assigned to in this
We
document. So
can see.
if you click here, this is the link it will open up. And you just need to scroll and find your name. So all your names are here. Okay? And this way you know in which group you are.
Probably she would like to know how was the
How
groups
are the
formed.
groups
You
created?
Randomly.
created the
Totally
groups.
randomly.
I guess that she would like to know how are the groups formed of the participants.
How did I choose who to put where?
Not graded but formed. So you have, let's say, 10 people in a group. How did you choose those people?
They were
Yeah,
formed, yeah. They were formed
random.
randomly. Yes.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, two Italians and three
Randomly.
from
So
other
I
countries.
really
And
didn't, as I don't know you, I cannot decide how to form the groups. I just mixed all the list I had of many people and formed the groups. So it's really random. And yeah, and there is a dedicated form. But I don't want to take the time from Natalia and Patrizia because my section will be actually relevant in a couple of weeks.
Is your
So
section,
I think
yeah, I think the section is
we
the one
shouldn't.
that starts on uh, in 5 days. Our part ends on October the 11th. Yes.
Exactly. So actually, what
Yes.
they're talking about, the SWOT analysis, starts not in 5 days.
In
It starts
12 days. Yeah.
on the
Okay.
22nd. On the
Wait.
22nd. Yeah. So I think for all the participants, just take your time. Focus on what comes
I'm under the
first. Okay?
impression that the people that are here in the group, in the meeting, asking questions are actually the ones that have completed our tasks, and now they are eager to find out what's next. And maybe that's why they're asking questions about the next part. They have already browsed it at least. I don't know whether they have attempted the tasks in the part two and part three, but they
Yeah.
have probably browsed it and they know that they're going to find some difficulty there, and that is why they're asking questions. And okay, so but I
Yes.
think they have been their questions have been answered. If yeah,
And if, yeah, I mean, I'm saying just for example, for the SWOT analysis, as if you try to do it now, it might be a bit early because the other partners in your
one,
group might still doing
one,
the sections which are of this week and next week. So with the SWOT analysis, I would have waited a bit. If there is a need, I can keep it open for 2-3 days more, the submission for this specific activity. But I would really suggest you first go through the modules through the section, read thoroughly. because everything is written on Moodle and in the handbooks that the experts prepared. And the handbooks are clear because they're really detailed. Yeah.
There is another question by Aifa who says that it would be good if they could have some tasks related to manipulating Adobe Connect. And Aifa, this is exactly what we would like you to do when we ask you to organize an event, because this is an event and Natalia and me are manipulating Adobe Connect. So if you organize an event and you are able to do it, I mean, within the deadlines, you will surely have an opportunity to use Adobe Connect and try how it works. In one of the tasks I gave you, there is the forum in which you can discuss if you have any difficulties in the organization of events. So really, organizing an event is a good
I don't see
opportunity
any more
for
questions.
becoming
But
familiar with
anyway,
this
if
tool, which is Adobe
nothing
Connect.
crosses your mind, if so far you haven't come across any questions, any difficult
I
tasks,
don't know if we have more
but
questions.
there are 4-5 more days, and as far as I know, there will be a flexibility of 1-2 more days to finish the part, at least. So if you have more questions. There is the support forum where you can post your questions. Both me and Patrizia are always around the MOOC. One of us is going to answer your question very soon. So don't hesitate to ask about anything related to part one. We will be there to answer it. Thank you very much.
There is a question on the Google Doc we shared about the events, if it has to be a live event. Well, you can organize also an on-site event and advertise it in the eTwinning events. If you want to practice with Adobe, it has to be a live event, okay? Because this is the only way you can get familiar with the.
Uh, if there are any questions, we are here to answer them. Just add them in the chat box. We would like to thank all of you for being here and for all the nice words that you put there. Thank you very much. Um,
Yes, I've seen that many people have already completed their part in Module B. So maybe many of the participants, as you said before, the people who are here have already done their tasks. But in any case, we have a support forum in Module B, and as Natalia says, every day we go there and have a look to see if we can help people in
yeah,
doing their.
there was, now that you mentioned, there was a question about the progress bar for the Moodle. And there was one participant who was asking whether we could turn it on, but the moderator could turn on the progress bar for the participants to see how far they have gone on the project, on the MOOC. This is not possible to be done for the whole MOOC, not even for, it could be done for a lesson, depending on how the expert wants to design it. But in my opinion, I think would be greater if it would be more helpful to you instead of a progress bar to have a learning diary where you could note the things that you have done, the tasks that you have completed, and what is left for you to do. You could use it via traditional way, use a notebook, a notepad for that, or you could use a Padlet or a Sway, more in the ones that are in more in technologies. And so keep track of the work that you have done and what is there for you to do. And you will be responsible for that. And I'm sure I have done it myself, and I think that it's a lot better if you are to if this way you organize your work better, your study better, and there are better long-term results for you as a student. We would like to thank you all for being here, for attending the meeting, for being such good students who had so few questions. Either we have done it perfectly as experts, or you are the perfect ones. And thank you very much. We are here to support you and will remain on the MOOC for as long as you need us. I would like to say good night. If there is no other question, and Patrizia.
Yes, thank you for being here as well from me, and we hope we have been helpful for you, and we will be there, as Natalia said, until you need us, until the end of the course. So happy happy continuation of the course, and enjoy it. It's really a good opportunity for us.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Alexandra, for your guest appearance. Thank you very much. It meant a lot to the participants, I think, and to us too. So everybody, good night. The recording, the presentation will be available as soon as possible. There will be an announcement in the announcements forum when the recording is ready. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.